Hello everyone, Weather Jamaica here. Welcome to this early Sunday morning update on Major Hurricane Melissa. It is 4:09 a.m. on Sunday, October 26, 2025. Now before we jump into it, please ensure that you all like this video. I'd really appreciate it if you all get this video to 100 likes. If you don't know by now, that's how the YouTube algorithm works. We all like the video, and then the YouTube algorithm pushes the video out to more persons who are in the path of these tropical systems so that we can keep everyone safe, especially during the peak months of Atlantic hurricane season. That's August through to October. Share this video with your friends, your co-workers, your relatives, and even your church brethren, and subscribe if you haven't yet done so. Please ensure that you all utilize the progress bar that's located at the bottom of the video, as well as the timestamps that are located not only in the comment section but the video description, so that you can skip to the points in the video that you want to see the most in order to save time, because we know that the videos over here with the Jamaica can be very long. Leave a comment down below letting me know what the weather's been like in your area recently. Also feel free to ask any weather related question that you might have about the future of the weather in your specific area. Alright, so taking a look at the U.S. National Hurricane Center's 7-day graphical tropical weather outlook that just came out at 4:55 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which is actually 3:55 a.m. Jamaica time, we see that we're still watching Hurricane Melissa right here to the southeast of us. Okay, and if we take a look at the latest infrared here, so we're looking at the infrared first of the Caribbean, and we can see how she has transformed since yesterday. Definitely big, definitely, spiraling in general. We see all of the cloud tops fanning out to indicate an intensifying hurricane for sure. A lot of deep convection as well on her right hand side. Well, right now we're just basically highlighting how big she is, extending all the way from the northern coast of Colombia, across the central Caribbean, across the eastern half of Jamaica, into Haiti, the southwestern Dominican Republic. And we see on the close-up now, let us reload the close-ups so that we have the latest to show too. Look at the system. We have that classic central dense overcast. This era, from the blacks into the grays into the purples, surrounding the entire eye, looking like a whole donut. That is called the central dense overcast, that contains the wind and the rainfall. So the tropical storm force winds, and the closer we head to the center, especially immediately around the center of the eye wall, that is where we're going to be experiencing the major hurricane force wind. And then, as you know, the eye is the calmest part of the hurricane. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure if there's any boat out in the sea, which I doubt right now, and they're looking out into space or into the sky, they're seeing the star, just like how we are seeing all the way down into the sea right now from the satellite out into space. I'm sure that it would be the opposite way around. So yes, there's some lightning, as you can see, around this the center of circulation. There's some lightning also right over here, and we see a lot of lightning regarding the spiral bands and the outer bands right here to the south of Haiti and the Dominican Republic, and it looks like some of this could even still be pushing towards them, so they're still in for a lot of rainfall for sure. So it's now a category 4 if you haven't heard. The latest Euro ensembles still taking the system off to the west and then pushing northward. The latest GFS ensembles, basically the same thing, to the west northwest, and then making it across us with that sharp right or northeastern turn. The latest Euro, well, not Euro, the latest intensity model guidance. See, it's even outdated still, because it is still showing that the system is a Cat 3. It's still showing that, and it's just been updated as of the 4 a.m. update. Let me see if we go back to tropical tidbits, if it would be showing us another intensity model. See, it isn't even updated yet to show you that the hurricane is even overachieving as we speak. So the latest here from the Hurricane Center states that Melissa is now packing 140 mile per hour winds. We know that systems that pack anywhere from 130 to 156 mile per hour winds are classified as category 4 hurricanes. So it's up there, medium range category 4. So it's not closer to Cat 3, I can hear the rain and the wind starting now in my part of St. Thomas. And it's not closer to Cat 5 either. So 140, let's say almost in the middle of Cat 4 status. She is now moving towards the west, because at the 1 a.m. update, she was moving towards the west-southwest. Okay, this was why we had this kind of track. Remember, it's a west, then northwest, then west, then northwest, then east, southeast, then northwest. Then this was what happened from from let's say the 11 or the 10 p.m. update all the way down to a west-southwest kind of jog. Okay, I would have been expecting to wake up to crazy wind and rain from the northern tropical storm force wind band, but I'm guessing the west-southwest dip that she did last night saved me a bit. So most of the activities off to my south, as you can see here on the infrared, and I'm grateful that I'm still here to give you all the updates, because this system means a business. So moving towards the west right now at 5 miles per hour, so still moving slow, and as you can see, still expected to make landfall in Jamaica as a major hurricane. Okay, 2 a.m. to the south of us, and we're definitely going to be using the interactive map that I learned about yesterday. I've never used it before, but learned about it. Thank you very much, season 2, the name of the person who came on the live. So we even did trace the dots yesterday with the past symbols of the system. So all of these, and basically drew back the same line that we just saw, as well as the tropical storm wind field right here in the, what is this color? Is this greenish? Is that turquoise? I don't know, but this was what it did from last night up to now, that west-southwest dip. Okay, and when we take a look now, so let me remove that, at the path, the updated path. Am I looking at the right path? Let me reload it so that I have the latest, because I don't want to be showing you incorrect information. So the latest path now, so the next M, so we just looked at it, so it's saying 140. So they're stating that by around 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which is actually 1 p.m. Jamaica time, it should be up to 150 miles per hour. Okay, and then by around 2 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which is actually 1 a.m., it should be 160 mile per hour wind. What is 160 mile per hour wind? That's greater than the 157 threshold, and if it's greater or more than 157, it's classified as a category 5. People of Jamaica, category 5 gonna be south of us at that time. 1 p.m. on October 27. That's tomorrow, right? Because it's tomorrow 1 p.m. and then 1:55. You see, that's the thing. It keeps looking like it's I wonder if the Hurricane Center is doing this on purpose, like to not make it seem so bad, because everybody's anxiety would be killing us. Because why is it that like it's always 160 Cat 5, and then as soon as it's about to make landfall, it's back down to Cat 4? Are they trying to spare us? I wouldn't be surprised if it makes it up to Cat 5 and makes landfall now. Boy, it's a sad situation, but if I was running the Hurricane Center, I would definitely do it. Because if everybody hears that the system is definitely going to be making it up to Cat 5, because 155, as a matter of fact, that isn't really different. 155 mile per hour wind, so it's only 2 miles per hour short of becoming Cat 5 when it's 155. So there isn't really much of a difference regarding the intensity of the system. Okay, so Cat 4, low end Cat 5, basically the same thing. And we spoke about this yesterday on or live. Let me find the other Saffir-Simpson wind scale. Yes, we're streaming live while we're recording. Where is it? The other Saffir-Simpson wind scale right here. Because I remember when we had Berry last year, I used the word catastrophic to define the damage that would have been expected from Beryl. And people were like, why is Weather Jamaica fear-mongering? But the thing is, it is the Saffir-Simpson wind scale itself that tells us the type of damage that comes with these types of systems. Category 1, Sunday, just some damage. Category 3, Gilbert and what's it called, Charlie, devastating, and those made landfall. Category 4, Ivan, Dean, Beryl, they were all catastrophic in a way, but they didn't make landfall. They passed to our south, and now we might get a whole landfalling system that's crossing over us from south to north. That could be Cat 4 or Cat 5. Catastrophic damage, especially where the hurricane force winds are coming in. Definitely possible for us here in Jamaica. My goodness, we're going to be getting it. And as you can see, should be to the north of us by, what is this time frame, 1 p.m. on October 28th. So that's, what is that, Tuesday or Wednesday? Let me see. October 28th, yes, that's Tuesday. And then, you know, by the time it is making its way over into southeastern Cuba, so October 29, I wouldn't be surprised if we're still getting in on the outer bands of the system. I'm still getting rainfall right now. Hopefully I don't get any crazy power outage that lasts for more than 3 seconds, because all of this would be gone. So as you can see, the tropical storm force wind field has definitely expanded. Some of Jamaica getting in on it, the eastern side especially, and we see how small the hurricane force wind field is in the Browns, closer to the eye of the system right in here. So immediately around, that is definitely where the crazy hurricane force winds are. Not saying that we can't get some hurricane force wind gusts within the tropical storm force winds, but directly around the eye, that's where the strongest winds and heaviest rainfall is located. Now I really want to hurry up and finish this video before the power goes out. I'm hearing rainfall and strong winds outside. So as you can see, the wave forecast throughout the day today, definitely bringing more of the waves surrounding the island as we head throughout the day, and we see the crazy waves to the south of us. We're talking about heading into the burgundies, into the what looks like some whitish shades that we know represents anywhere from 2 in the purples all the way up into the 6 in the burgundies, all the way up into the 9-meter wave heights or more. Okay, and all of this has to do with the fact that we have a high chance of tropical storm force wind probability, 90% chance. So we're going to be getting the strong winds throughout the day. You know the drill, that we were getting a northeasterly flow all along. It looks like as the system continues to push to the south of us from east-west, we're going to be getting more of an easterly flow. Looks like it's going to be sending that moisture into St. Thomas. I'm going to be getting it. So if you don't see me posting later on, you know that I've been getting it. So more of a northeasterly flow on the northwestern side, Hanover, St. James. And we see as the day progresses on Sunday, the system coming in line with the longitude of St. Catherine and Clarendon. And then Monday coming even closer, and then looking like it's even making landfall late Monday into Tuesday. But remember, the Hurricane Center is stating that the landfall should be Tuesday, so let's not really work with that and jump the gun yet, okay? But Tuesday, late Monday, Tuesday, and we know we're expecting these kinds of winds. So it just showed windy, and especially where the system is expected to make landfall, we're talking about 113 to 136 knot winds. That's 130 to 150, well, 140 now mile per hour winds. Okay, we can get wind gusts above all of that either way. And I'm guessing that we just saw was basically the 0Z Euro. I believe the GFS, the latest GFS, is going to be coming out shortly, but you know the drill. We're basically looking at the timestamp right here at the top. We're just going out to the next 4 days, the next 96 hours. So we see the system right here. We see the moisture, the greens, yellows, oranges, and reds, the red L starting to push into us as it pushes west, north, westward. As a matter of fact, the millibars are way lower than that, considering that it's Cat 4 right now. And then as you can see, pushing north into us, and then it should be across Cuba over the next 3 days, and then we can stop it right there. What does the latest GFS show? So pushing into us, that's the 6Z, by the way. The 0Z, by the way. The 6Z should start in the next 5 minutes, but I won't have it to show because it's gonna end at around 6 a.m. and the time is now 4:23 a.m. Okay, so clearly basically doing the same thing that the Euro has shown, making landfall in Jamaica late Monday into Tuesday. We see that time frame 6Z on Tuesday, that's 1 a.m. and then pushing northeastward into southeastern Cuba, and should be out of here by late Wednesday, but some outer bands still possible. And did the Hurricane Center update the rainfall totals, or is it this the same? Not much change. The greens across the western parishes, we're talking about Hanover, Westmoreland. The yellows into the gold. So we're talking about St. James into Trelawney, St. Elizabeth. We're talking about 4 to 6 inches, 6 to 8 inches. That's 100 to 200 millimeters of rainfall. While the greens is just 2 to 4 inches. That's 50 to 100 millimeters. I remember there was a video on TikTok and the girl was like, "Can you explain the inches and the millimeters? How much rain is that really?" If you recall the crazy rain that flooded out Kingston on September 19, where we had a lot of footage of flooding, according to the weatherman on TVJ, he stated that in Shortwood in St. Andrew, it was about 70 something millimeters. Keep in mind that 1 inch of rainfall is about the same as 25 millimeters of rainfall. So that rain that flooded Kingston was 3 inches of rainfall in just a little late afternoon time period. Okay, so if we're going to be getting these rainfall totals heading up into the reds and the maroon or the burgundy colors, 8 to 12 to 16 inches, that's 200 all the way up to 400 millimeters of rainfall for St. Anne into St. Mary, Manchester into Clarendon. There's going to be flooding, especially where we have the pinkish purplish shades. That's 20 to 30 inches, if not 500 to 750 millimeters. And look at St. Thomas into Portland into eastern St. Andrew, that's shaded in the dark or the purples itself. Even the Hurricane Center stated themselves that especially across the Blue Mountains, we're going to be getting up to 40 inches of rainfall. And remember the topography there, that's Blue Mountain Peak, 2,256 meters. And once we get all of that cloud pushing in, more rising, and it's just going to be squeezing out even more moisture. So all of the rivers that come from Blue Mountain are going to be in spate. Morant River, Plantain Garden River, I think that's coming more so from the Jonker Mountains. We have the Yallas River. We have some rivers in Portland as well. We were looking at the watershed across the island. A lot of rivers are going to be in spate, swollen, whatever the case may be, because these are the rainfall totals. Look at the dark reds into the purples, into the pinks, into the peach, into the blues. That represents what we see here on the key on the right. That's expected from the system. That's 2 all the way up to the 25 inches. But as the Hurricane Center stated, even up to the what's it called, the 40 inches. And the thing is, this map that we just showed is the map from yesterday. More than likely, as the day progresses, it's going to be updated to reflect more of what this is showing. Because if we actually load up this one, it's not only incorporating eastern Jamaica in the crazy rainfall totals, but central Jamaica is back in for some of it. I mean, look at the colors now. So we see the GFS showing something similar with the especially central to eastern parishes, with the reds, pinks, purples, into the blues, all the way up into the 25 or more inches. But look at the close-up. Basically the same thing. We're talking about some biblical proportions of a rainfall, especially where we have the grays. Look at this number, 796 millimeters, and this is just the beginning. 916, almost 1,000, especially across the central to the eastern end. When all is said and done, by the way, keep in mind that this map from the Euro and this map from the GFS are showing all the rainfall that's expected from now up until 1 p.m. on Thursday. Not saying that it's going to be still raining on Thursday, but from now up until then, this is the amount of rainfall expected, especially with the system that's expected to cross south of us to the west and then push northward into us. It's going to be a very bad situation. Okay, not only about the flooding, not only about the crazy winds that's going to possibly break glass windows, break the windshield on cars, turn vehicles, flip vehicles. Trust me, that can definitely happen. Rip roofs off. But even the waves, I don't think people understand the severity of the storm surge that is going to be taking place by the coast. The crazy waves that are going to be pushing in from south to north, piling up on the south coast. Port Royal, if you're down there now, people of Port Royal, even at the airport, isn't safe at all. If you're living by the coast in any one of these parishes on the south coast, you are in for some bad weather in general. All right, let us move on. So we spoke about the totals. Let's move on to see what's happening now regarding the close-up. So we already looked at the infrared, showing that donut shape eye in general starting to push westward. It even looks like at the end it's starting to lift a bit to the north in a sense. I think, I'm not sure. That's why I put on the latitude and longitude line so I can actually try to make it out. Or is it slowing down again? Either way, this is what's taking place right now. As you can see, the latest time, that is 0915 UTC, which is actually 4:15 a.m. So this just came out 14 minutes ago, considering that it's 4:29 p.m. right now. As you can see, at the end of it all, this one, clouds covering Clarendon, St. Catherine, St. Mary, Portland, Kingston, St. Andrew, St. Thomas. But do we actually have rain bands underneath all of this? This is what the latest Jamaican Doppler radar is showing, and I'm afraid to reload it because we've had a lot of glitches with it recently because everybody's living on this all of a sudden. But we can see the crazy spiral bands around the eye of the hurricane. We see the eye right here in the middle. We see the eye wall immediately around it. Let me try to reload it and try to see if I can get the latest image to show, if it will load for me. Will it? Praise the Lord, it's loading. Alright, so the latest image, let's pause it. It's showing 0915Z. Good. So basically the same time as the infrared is what it's showing. That's very good. So the 4:15 latest imagery right here shows that as of right now, I'm pretty sure that people on the live who are living in these parishes are experiencing this. So Hanover, section of St. Elizabeth, getting in on some light to moderate rainfall. We even see some rainfall across coastal Trelawney, section of St. Anne, some rainfall into southern St. Mary, western Portland, some rainfall into eastern St. Andrew. Kingston is right here. Maybe some isolated shores. We see some rainfall into section of St. Thomas. I'm definitely hearing that rainfall outside right now. And it's clearly the craziest, heaviest rainfall in the dark greens into the yellows are still off to our south, but expect all of that to change as the day progresses. Even more rainfall into St. Thomas. So let us reload the Cuban Doppler radar. It's going all the way up to 5:20 a.m., which is actually 4:20 a.m. So this just came out 11 minutes ago, considering that it is 4:31 a.m. right now. And as you can see, we see the rain bands on the north coast coming into those parishes that we mentioned, Hanover, Trelawney, St. and we even see that rainfall into St. Thomas, and the crazy rain bands to the south of us associated with the batch of showers around the central dense overcast of Melissa. Guantanamo radar showing some rainfall to the northeast of us, a lot of rainfall between Haiti and Jamaica here, light to moderate. Cayman radar also showing some rain bands right here, just to the northwest of Hanover right over here. Don't see much of anything happening across the Cayman Islands right now, but this is what's expected throughout the day today. So this map from the Euro and this map from the GFS, they are both valid for 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 6 a.m. Jamaica time. Okay, so about what, 1.5 hours from now. This is what's expected. We see the blues into the greens, yellows, even to the oranges across sections of some eastern central parishes. The GFS a bit more reserved. We see more so blues in the east and especially the north. So look out for rainfall if you're in St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne's, St. Mary, Portland, St. Thomas. Those areas are already getting that rainfall. But the Euro wants to incorporate sections of southern St. Elizabeth, southern Manchester, Clarendon, St. Catherine, Kingston into it. So we'll see how that plays out. We know that the 1 hour total rainfall forecast from the Euro isn't really accurate. We know that the Euro is more accurate when it comes to the hurricane positions. GFS is more accurate regarding the rainfall. The RFS hasn't been accurate so far really regarding the hurricanes. As you can see, heading into 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 10 a.m. Jamaica time, we're seeing more rainfall on the north coast, crazy blues into greens into yellows, oranges. Here on the north coast into the eastern side, the GFS still showing the main rainfall across the northern sections into the eastern section. Basically the same areas that should be getting on that 6 a.m. rainfall. Heading into 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, is actually 2 p.m. Jamaica time, today on Sunday. We see that rainfall on the north coast, rainfall on the east side, even rainfall on the south coast. That's the Euro, the GFS, still showing the northern and eastern ends with the rainfall. And you know what we mean when we say northern and eastern end. So let me load up those maps quickly. So you know we are referring to the areas such as, where is it? Right in about here. Yes. So the maps. So eastern areas, you know, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Surrey, Portland, St. Thomas, Kingston, St. Andrew. Northern parishes especially that are already getting in it on the activities. So Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, St. Mary, Portland. And that should continue as we head into the evening hours. Look at this. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is actually 6 p.m. Jamaica time. We're seeing the eye to the south of us. As a matter of fact, this is already the case right now. This is already the case right now. So they're definitely going to have to update these maps as the day goes along. We're seeing the moisture into northeastern or eastern parishes. The GFS has the system more so in line with southern, in line with Clarendon and Manchester by this time. That's the 10 p.m. Hold on, no. Here we have it. So this is the 7 p.m., which is the 6 p.m. Jamaica time. The Euro has the system more in line with St. Catherine and Kingston. Okay, the GFS has the system more in line with St. Thomas and Portland. So GFS is a bit, behind with where the location of the center of the system should be. But nonetheless, crazy rainfall bands in the blues and the greens into St. Thomas. More than likely by 6 p.m. this evening, I'm out of power. Yep. Mark my words on that. GFS still showing the system here where it currently is. Because if you look at the infrared right now, this is basically where it is. Right? This is where it is right now, to the south of us, in line with St. Thomas. So I don't know why the GFS is delaying. Is it actually saying that it's going to slow down? We'll see. 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the last one, which is actually 9 p.m. Jamaica time. System still in line with St. Catherine, Clarendon right here. A lot of rainfall still coming in to the eastern and central parishes especially. And we see that for sure on the GFS too. And the total accumulated precipitation forecast maps here showing over the next 24 hours. This map from the Euro, this map from the GFS are both showing up until, let's say, early Monday. The Euro going up to 4.57 inches in St. Anne, 5.54 maybe in Ocho Rios, 5.06 in St. Mary, 8.89 in Portland, 10.1 in St. Thomas within the next 24 hours, 4.83 in Kingston and St. Andrew, 4.9 in Clarendon, 3.45 in Manchester, 1.18 in St. Elizabeth. Clearly, the least amount of rainfall over the next 24 hours should be across Westmoreland, 0.79 in Hanover, 1.57 in St. James, 2.83 in Trelawney. The GFS a bit more reserved, and we know that all of these should change as the day progresses and we get the 6Z run and then we get the 12Z run. This is why we're going to be live all day. Live all day today. I wonder how long the video is so far. See, they past the 20 the 20 minute that I wanted to stop at. Boy, there's a lot to cover. So we see the GFS 2.44 in St. Mary, 6.07 in Portland, 6.79 in St. Thomas, 3.45 in Kingston, 0.81 in Clarendon, 1.56 in St. Anne, 0.92 in Trelawney, 0.56 in I think it's northwestern Trelawney, if not northeastern St. James, 0.18 in eastern St. Elizabeth, or is that Manchester? Either way, clearly it's Westmoreland, if not St. Elizabeth, getting the least amount of rainfall over the next 24 hours. Alright, so I hope that you all stay safe. That is it for now. More than likely, this could be my last video up until the point where I actually get electricity back, because I'm sure it's going today. Thank you all for watching.